go into our only solo movie review, which is great. Freed up a lot of time for me this week. We decided to watch Netflix Nightbook, which stars Ritter. And basically, this story is about a boy who likes to write scary stories and has a falling out. And it's all of a sudden gets trapped into this hotel and apartment system that will not let him go. And I mean, that's all you got to know. It's a kids movie, so it's a kids-esque movie. Let's go ahead and start with you, Jason. What did you think of Nightbook?
Yeah, this is pretty fun for me. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a kids movie, so it's not like anything too complex. I didn't know it was a kids movie going into it. I was hoping it would be a little bit more hardcore, but it was still. There were still some points in there where it's like, oh, this is a little bit, you know, rated teen rather than rated G. There's definitely some moments where it's a little not scary, but a little bit heightened tension to say.
Right.
I like the message that they were trying to say, like, which is pretty much in every kid's movie. It's like, oh, just be you. And I thought that the kid who writes scary stories, like I guess I resonated with that because I was that fucking weirdo kid who would write scary stories, but I wouldn't tell nobody about it. I'm not that lame.
Smart.
But I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm hanging out with this dude. This dude seems cool.
With one very marked exception, but
yeah, well, I mean, he probably is a bedwetter too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the way he basically built allies of the other little girl that was catching the house and the cat that was apparently also catching the house was really cool. Like,
shit on his food.
Because he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "What is that?" And it's like, "Oh, it's cat shit. That's what that is."
I laughed so hard. Oh man.
Kristen Ritter is like one of those actresses, like you either like her or you don't like her, in my opinion. I can take her or leave her. Like sometimes she's really good and sometimes she's like, eh. Like I watched all of Jessica Jones and like there's some times I'm like, wow, she's amazing. There's sometimes like they should have found someone else. But in this one, I feel like it's not like it's a hard role. She's just playing some hammy witch-esque character. And, she's fine. She's good in it. It's like it could have been anybody else, but it's fine that it's her. I like the fact that it was a play on Hansel and Gretel. I kind of figured that out when he first looked at the book. It's like, oh, this is going to be a play on Hansel and Gretel. And it was. But, as I said, it's a kid's movie. It's not going to throw you for any loops. It's not going to subvert your expectations or anything like that. So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, Jaron, your thoughts on Nightbook?
I mean, don't eat other people's fucking pie. Like, kid, what are you doing, man? Like, right
he was
out
under
the
a trance. He couldn't help it.
Right out
Thank
the
you.
rib.
But everybody in my household said the
let
same
me
thing
back
too.
up. Let me back up to what 10-year-old is watching Lost Boys, man? Damn, like what is parent like? I watched Lost Boys at 10-year-old. That's
Awesome
because
parents.
I was unsupervised.
Yeah, right.
Awesome parents. That's who did. That's why I watch it.
The aforementioned thing that makes me not like the kid is his stupid fucking hipster lenses with their glasses with no fucking lenses in it. The fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, for real? That's a whole fucking look that it's bad on adults when they do it, and it's even dumber on a kid when you do it.
And his difference is from Brooklyn.
When Kristen Ritter first showed up, I was like, "Holy shit! It looks like Ryuk from Death Note." It's just in the outline where she had the spikes on her shoulders; they were kind of coming off and everything. I loved. I had to put that note down because I thought it was great. But I loved her. I love that they rated Elton John's wardrobe to dress her in every scene. It was phenomenal. I thought whoever the costume designer was for her character was having a fucking ball and loving it.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. Almost immediately when the thing shake or the apartment shakes, if you're paying attention, you realize that Ritter is not the one in control. That she is aggressive and angry, and the way she deals with these kids is because she is attempting to stave off something that she probably can't handle herself. So I thought that they telegraphed that well. But it's one of those things that you might, if you weren't paying like attention to it, or if it was in the background, you might not have noticed.
Or if you're a child,
or if you're a kid, I guess. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Youth.
The cat shitting on his food made me laugh really fucking hard. I loved it. I just because it's exactly how you said it, Jason. Kid's like, "What is that?" And I'm looking at, "What is that?" oh, and then it. And the cat just fucking uncloaks and stares. I'm like, "Yeah, what? What are you gonna do? I'll claw your fucking eyes out, kid." Oh man, and the movie itself, it follows it. Like I said, I'm here for Ritter in this one. She was killing it. And then at the end, in the elevator sequence with the witch kind of like spider crawling around the outside of the elevator, that was very cool. And then as soon as that elevator door is open, I'm like, oh look, convenient furnace to Freddy Krueger, this bitch. Let's go. I was like, yep, I now know how this is gonna end. And she kind of went out like a bitch. She should have seen that coming. Opening the door while I like keeping eye contact with her, like, hey, don't worry about what this hand is doing, But
come over here and let me tell you a story. While this human-sized furnace is open.
Yeah. I need it for mood lighting. Don't worry about it. But but yeah, no. Overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. There were some. It wasn't one of those things where they could do much as far as like the direction of it goes. The interesting way they kind of did the hand-drawn backgrounds in his stories. Also, I did like that when he started the story, they did the splash of the title, and then inevitably he would get interrupted, and so it would go back to it, and then they'd have to restart it, and the splash title card would come up again. I enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. But the amalgam of like live action, but like stilted and frame dropped with hand-drawn backgrounds, I thought was kind of a cool way to differentiate the stories he was telling versus the reality that he was stuck in. So I dug it. I liked it. Yeah. And of course, always in a situation with this, befriend the evil thing from the get-go so that you can, try to cash in on that friendship later. So yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay. Yes, I'm glad you did mention the drawings in the story, because I'm like, man, I'm about to go through this whole review and no one's going to mention a good portion of what the story was. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like the Nightbook was the right book, especially because my kids loved it.
I love your puns, man. I just want to hug you every time.
Oh yeah, the dad vibes is strong this week.
Yeah. Oh, but it's just a lot to like in this, just as a adult watching it. Like, one, we talked about the stories and the splashing, and then like even the hand-drawn backgrounds. I felt like, to me, it was almost like, you remember those, or I didn't remember the pop-up books where you would open it and everything would pop. It felt like that to me. It felt like every time they were in that story, it felt like he was writing a story that could have been in a pop-up book. And it just felt good. It flowed good with the scenery. I love the sets, the designs, the atmosphere that was in it. It was scary enough, but kiddish enough that like you can have that disconnect. They did an awesome job with that. The creatures, the shredders or whatever, were real cool, easy, fun. The real live, actual, practical sliming of people, I thought that was cool. No CGI crap and all that. So like, it was a lot of practical stuff in here, which I'm shocked because it's Netflix. I'm like, oh wow, they went practical on a good number of stuff. And again, I'm surprised you guys don't talk about all the nightmare fuel that was in there. One, fucking unicorn.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
the unicorn.
That was scary as fuck.
Did a lot of things. Yeah.
Right. Even the witch's house was freaky as hell. Like, that's freaky.
Oh, yeah. I did like the contact, or if they did it CG, when they got mesmerized by the candy house at the end, that cool multicolored swirl eyes that showed that. I thought that was very cool.
I like the library. I was like, I want one of those in my house.
Right. So yeah, I thought a lot of just how the movie looked was just phenomenal. The kid being uber geek horror guy, like kind of like Jason said, I can relate because I was that uber geeky watching a bunch of R-rated hard R movies when I was younger, and I loved it. Also, the parts that were cringy for me, I felt like was everything else, but it was cringy in the sense that it was kiddie, and some of the tonal actions weren't like, yes, we're talking about a cat shitting on food. Like, that's a very harsh thing. Like, kind of. I know they play it because it's pooping his kids, but as an adult, we realize how harsh that is in real reality.
Yeah, disrespect was off the charts.
Right. So a lot of the interactions with the kids were kind of. I didn't like her on again, off again, but I did understand it. Like they gave all good mythos for why she should feel that way because she's lost a bunch of people, and so I get why she was so trying to cold shoulder him, but bring him. I just hated the fact I felt like it wasted time. Like just be down for the call, shorty, or don't. Like let's move on and keep it moving.
She's been there for 3 years, man.
And again, I said they gave the right stuff to make her feel this way. Again, hear what I'm saying? They get the right stuff. I just felt like it was a waste of time to do this. Like they could have had her just not be cold all the way through and then just warm up to him rather than she got warm with him, then got cold on him again, and then got warm with him again when he like almost like tried to save her. Like it was just a lot of back and forth that it didn't really develop the characters more. Like her being hot or cold didn't really dictate anything to pay off for. Like he earned it anyway, so it didn't really matter to keep switching her back and forth. You could just had him earn it at that one moment when he was going to sacrifice, and we're still good. Homeboy was kind of cringy, not because of his outfit. I thought his outfit was kind of cool. All the hipster type of stuff for this kid. That's why I was like, and these kids hate on this kid. Like
he's got a punk vest on and shit.
Yeah. Like he was on his grind. He was on his grizzle. But anyway, but that was my only real big one. I guess my last one too is Kristen Ritter, and Jason said it perfectly. You know, either you're with her or you're not. I enjoy her Jessica Jones when her Jessica Jones is cynical. Just like I enjoyed her in the B in Apartment 23 or whatever, because she was more cynical and pompous there. I felt like this role for her, it could have upped this movie up a lot more if she was actually legitimately menacing. Now, they gave her moments to be legitimate menacing that I felt came off okay, like when she's basically torturing kids because she's going to kill them, which was pretty menacing, but it wasn't her that was menacing. It's the fact that she's doing this to kids that was menacing. It could have been anybody doing that and would have been menacing. That's, I don't think my biggest beef is I felt like they could have ramped her up to really be vile, and if they would have done that, when it is the reveal of the real big bad, it would almost could have felt like a relief to be like, oh crap, she's afraid of something else is bigger than her, and then the horror jumps back over to realize, oh no, this is even worse than her. But like Kristen Ritter's character wasn't really, I didn't get any like relief. It should have been a pop moment. It should have been a pop moment when the witch beat her, where you were like, yes, that chick is like we talked about before the show, Umbridge. Kristen Ritter should have been Umbridge. So when she gets taken off by the centaurs, we're like, yes, blah, blah, blah. And then we go, oh, crap, we can't relax because this is way more dangerous than the chick we just like. It should have been that vibe. And that's what I think that's my real negative about that is that she didn't have that menace that I think would have really made those moments very, very worth it. They even almost kind of tried to make her more sympathetic, that like she was doing this for her own protection herself because she couldn't get out. So, like, why do that? Like, why make her, like, so, yeah, but that's neither here nor there. That's how they wrote the movie, so that's none of my business on that one. All right, but yeah, other than that, man, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I had a good time with my family watching it, so I definitely, I'm high on the movie, but those little nitpicks kind of bothered me a bit because I felt like it could have been even crazier if they would have got that stuff right. Any closing words before we go to the rating?
Yeah, I was going to be a little harsher on her, like just some of the stuff that she was like whenever he was reading and she would critique. Like I get that it ultimately has to be that's the weakness that they exploit to ultimately win the day. But at the same time, like they could have written her a lot more, like you said, vile, or they could have made her a little more sharp or punchy, but I get that they probably were limited because it is a kid's thing. So yeah, so that's why I didn't really go into it, but I agree.
Too hard.
Right.
Fear Street rather than Nightbook.
Yeah.
Well, even like you said, how she was critical of him getting things right. Like, what if she would have been like, every time you don't get it right, like you get a slash or something, like, something that would have been like, oh shit. So when he has to do that thing to convince her to give him the ingredients, they know that this is putting him in direct peril to do this because he knows him getting it wrong he's going to like, so like, it's just little things that could have amped it. But again, like I said, I hate nitpicking things that I really freaking like because it was fun, and
this is our job. This is what we do.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I nitpicked the fuck out of Shang-Chi, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's true. Which made a ton of money, so maybe we're wrong. Well, it made it because Jaron kept going to see it. That's how I made all that.
Jaron said it like 9 times.
Yeah, y'all were wrong. I was right.
Jaron was like, "Hey, Mom, can I get that inheritance now? Because I got a movie that I need to make #1 2 weeks in a row."
All by myself.
Jason, what is your rating for Nightbook?
I will give it a solid, which is not solid. It's going to get a point, but 3.8.
3.8.
Yeah.
Right.
It's it's on streaming, so there's no reason why not to watch it, right? So
Absolutely.
you're going to get it for free. Just watch it. It's fun.
Watch
it with your older kids.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5, just because some of y'all are gonna look at this and be like, I'm an adult and I want to watch a horror movie that's more adult oriented, and this will not satiate that. But if you come into it knowing that it's got a kind of a kid vibe to it and you're okay with that, then you're gonna enjoy it. It's done well. It's done exceptionally well. So for the genre.
All right. Oh, I give it a 3. I can't believe I was lower than everybody, but I gave it a 3. So go ahead and get your stream on, boo, because it's easy.